Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining, Imran. Good to see you. Good morning.
Well, we'll give it maybe 1 minute or so to see, since we're still seeing a few people trickle in. Good morning. Wow, everyone's in such a great mood this morning.
We love the peppiness. We'll try to match everyone's energy in the chat today. Wow, Atlanta. Where's everyone calling in from? Nate, good to see you.
All right.
Orange County, Chicago. Wow, we have people from all over the states here. DC, Tucson, India, Boston, Ireland, San Antonio, Virginia, Indiana, San Ramon,
The
India,
moon. Wow.
the moon. Not even the moon, the moon.
All right, Gil, should we get started?
Let's do it.
All right, awesome. Hi, everyone. We're so excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to go through all the content today. We have some really exciting updates, some great demos, and just really happy to have everyone here. Next slide. So my name is Shensi Dang. I'm joined here by my co-founder, Gil Feig. Today, we're going to walk through what new features we've shipped here at Merge, show you what AI features our customers have built using Merge, and where we are headed over the next few months. A few housekeeping items before we jump into the fun part. This webinar is recorded, so you will be able to access anything here afterwards and also be able to share it with others. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A function. We have a very active chat already, which is great to see. And we do plan to answer any questions at the end too.
So we're at an inflection point in how people work with the emergence of AI. We've seen our own day-to-day work change. Maybe we're using AI when we code, when we write a PRD, when we're working on go-to-market plans. ChatGPT was able to hit 100 million users in 2 months, which is faster than any other major tech platform in history. So let's start with a poll here. We want to be interactive today. I'm curious, how often do you use AI at work? We'll give everyone about 20 seconds. You should see the poll pop up. And if you don't, you can see in the chat on the right, there's a little poll tab. Click that and then take a second and vote here. We'll show the results in a second. All right, and we'll put up the results right now. Wow, that is insane. So clearly we have a very AI active crowd here. I would guess probably most of us have not seen similar results when we've talked to friends and family. So I think that says something about the type of people who are attending and the type of people who are interested in this content. Yeah, this might be a biased crowd for sure. All right, cool. So let's get back to this here. Sorry, one sec. Let me get my sharing right here. All right, awesome. So in 2025, 33%, so in general in 2025, we're seeing really big increased adoption of agents. And predictions are that by 2028, 33% of enterprise software applications will include agentic AI. And because of this increased usage, product teams have shifted their strategy. AI is not a side project, but it's a core product strategy. This is Gartner's prediction. And they also predict that at least 15% of day-to-day work decisions will be made autonomously through agentic AI, which is up from 0% in 2024. These agents can take actions on your behalf. They can assign tickets, send emails, update your CRM, create files. Companies are racing to build these AI features, and whether that's a new capability layered onto an existing product or an entirely new product built around AI from the ground up. But of course, there are clear challenges when it comes to building AI. So let's do another poll here. When thinking about either building AI into your product or adding an entirely new AI product offering, what is your biggest challenge? I know there may be multiple, but just pick your top one here. And again, we'll take about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then we'll show the results on the screen. All right, let's give a couple more seconds here. And we'll bring up the results. All right. So again, you can all scroll down when you see that. You can scroll in the little window here. This one's pretty split. We're seeing interesting results here. Security and compliance is really a big one. We've been seeing that emerge, which we'll talk about. Hard to integrate with customer systems. I'm not going to say anything on that one, but there are solutions out there. And then, yeah, unclear product value or use case is another really interesting one. And I think it's valid. It's something we're hearing is just a mix of, is there value, or is this just a slim wrapper and there's no value in that? We've kind of heard all these before. So it's interesting to hear that from the crowd. All right, so I will continue here. Awesome. So building and maintaining these integrations securely and reliably at scale is a massive lift. And it gets even harder when you layer on AI, managing auth, security permissions, rate limits, what we all just commented on, what we all just voted on. And that's why, yeah, I'll hand it off to Shensi here.
Yeah, and that is why Merge is the leading platform for customer-facing integrations. So since day one, we have focused on building the infrastructure that connects products to third-party systems their customers use. That includes file storage integrations, CRMs, ATS, accounting platforms, ticketing tools, HRIS, and more. We've invested deeply in data normalization across all of our integrations, scalable near real-time syncs, an embeddable UX component for easy end user onboarding, and the ability to access and map custom data fields. And of course, enterprise-grade security. That foundational work, all the complexity we've abstracted away, is exactly what companies building AI need today, which is why over the past few months, we've had our product and engineering teams really focus on delivering new features built for AI-powered search, agents, and knowledge assistants. Today, we're excited to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what we've been building and unveiled 2 new products that we're launching soon. We're so excited to be powering integrations for tens of thousands of companies. I'm also excited that you'll have the opportunity to hear from 2 amazing customers, Emma and Foxit, who use Merge to power their AI products.
Merge's mission is to make secure data access easy. We're going to cover in 4 different chapters how we're working towards this mission. Chapter 1 will focus on how we've improved our data security. We'll show you how we've expanded our auth, scopes, and permissioning features, giving you more control over who can access what data. Chapter 2 will highlight all the improvements we've made to our file storage integrations, which is a key requirement for AI enterprise search. Chapter 3 focuses on MCP, Model Context Protocol, which is a new standard for connecting LLMs to third-party tools. We launched our own MCP server in April, and we'll show how customers are already using it to power real-world agents and assistants. Our final chapter will cover everything else, from new capabilities in Merge Link to enhancements across our integration categories. Now, I'd like to pass it over to one of our amazing product managers, Yash Gogri.
Thanks, Gil. Hey everyone, my name is Yash Gogri, and I'm a product manager here at Merge, leading our HR tech and AI product builds. With the increased usage of AI, there naturally has been increased anxiety around data security. According to a study done by Salesforce, 60% of those who want to use AI don't know how to leverage trusted data sources while keeping their data secure. This is why over the past few months at Merge, we invested heavily in building out data security functionality to provide you greater control over what data can be accessed within your product. Now let's start with access control lists, or ACLs, the foundation of secure data access. ACLs define who can read, edit, or access specific data. And at Merge, it's built into our platform and standards across integrations, such as ticketing and file storage systems. Now imagine a file that can only be edited by the marketing team, or a folder of files in which only the executive team can view. Your AI agent needs to respect those distinctions. It's incredibly complex to build, which is why at Merge, we made it simple and reliable for you to pull this data through one of our unified APIs. Now, beyond ACLs, authentication levels are another critical layer when it comes to syncing data efficiently and securely. While Merge does support individual authentication in which a specific user connects their own account, we saw that there could be efficiency problems when it comes to dealing with the third-party rate limits, as well as a burden of managing tons of different connections for a single one of your customers. Due to this, Merge invested in building out super admin and admin level authentication support. Super admin and admin level authentication is key for the AI enterprise search use case. Through a single connection, you can sync all file data or all ticketing data within a given organization without the burden of managing tons of different connections. It's the only way to securely and efficiently sync all user data from one of your customers. And the last layer of data control is scopes, one of the earliest and most important security features here at Merge. Scopes lets you define what data gets synced within your product at the individual field level, such as social security number, or at the object level. And beyond this, we also support end user defined scopes in which your customers have full control and full visibility into what data they're sharing, ultimately building trust within your product. Now I'll go into a brief demo around ACLs. For this ACLs demo, I will show how Google Drive permissions propagate within our File Storage Unified API. So this is the ACLs test Google Doc. I can show who has access to it. I am the owner of the file. Abe has editor access, and then all folks within the product team have viewer or read-only access. Now navigating to our unified API, the file object, you can see this is the ACLs test file, has the file URL, and then there's actually a permissions array that contain pointers to specific users and groups and their relevant access. So this specific permission object points to a group that has read access. This is going to be the product team that I showed earlier. We have this permission object that points to a user that is the owner. That's going to point to myself. And then we have this specific permission object that points to another user that has write or editor access. That's going to point to Abe. So essentially, you can use this permissions array to formulate the ACLs that will then show what your AI agent needs to provision access to or show in the search results when a specific person is querying your product. Now, I'm really excited to turn it over to one of our customers. Hussein, a tech lead from EMA, is going to dive deeper into how EMA uses Merge to power their AI product.
Hey everyone, happy to be a part of today's webinar. My name is Hussein Nagri. I'm one of the tech leads at EMA, an AI startup that's in the process of building AI agents. At EMA, we are in the process of working with our customers to essentially ingest their data and answer and act on their systems, which is why data ingestion is so important, because without easy connectors, without customers being able to come in and directly set up their connections, their data, their applications, this whole process becomes a lot more tough. So the biggest challenge with building connections in-house is the variety of different apps that exist today. If we want to do a file ingestion, then there's a different story for Google Drive versus for SharePoint versus every single other app. The APIs are slightly different. The objects we get from them are slightly different. And that's really where Merge and the common data model come into play. We've got to build this once, right? We built each category once, whether it's file storage or ticketing or CRMs. And then that just scales to all applications of that type. Especially when we talk about ingest, we don't need to scale by the number of applications we want to support. And that's really the key bit. One of my favorite things about Merge's integrations is that with our AI agents that use Merge, they only show information to a user based on the documents that the user has access to. So it helps keep our customers sensitive and information secure. So with everything in mind, here's a quick demo of how Emma can use Merge to set up files and set up integrations in Emma's AI employees. Emma is in the process of making AI employees. What we do is we make it very easy to create a platform where you can, you pull in different blocks and configure agents based on specific workflows. Now, you can see, out here that I have a chatbot, which right now has one document. What I can do is using Merge, I can very easily add more documents from various data sources. So let's say I want to create a new document based on some folders. In this case, I have Google Drive. So I'll be using Google Drive to add folders. If I wanted to add from a different data source, I could very easily connect Box or Dropbox or something and use my own two-factor to connect it there. For now, let's use Google Drive. And so you can see that there's a bunch of different things available. Essentially, my entire Drive directory is being loaded via Merge. In this case, I'm going to maybe ask about one of my design documents that I've asked before. So I'll go through this. And let's talk about setting up a new ticketing persona. Now, I can save this and save the changes. And now when I go to my config, you can see that this document is available out here. It's getting processed. And it's a very quick process. Merge is able to ingest this and now make it available for us to ask questions. At this point, I can bring up my chatbot and I can ask it something along the lines of, hi, can you tell me about how to set up a ticketing persona? And so, yeah, you can see that not only is it able to give us the answer, but it also gives us a link to the source that we've just uploaded.
That was an awesome demo. Thanks, Hassan. And hey, everyone, my name is Abe. I'm a product manager leading our customer-facing product experiences. And today I'm here to talk about how Merge plays a role in the era of AI. Specifically, ever remember that moment where you're trying to find that onboarding doc for a new hire, or a buried invoice that you need to pay? How about a PTO policy that's hidden, stashed away somewhere? Well, file data is at the core of enterprise AI search, making knowledge more accessible to workers all over. The challenge, though, is the same. Getting access to your customers' secure file and folder data across all the different systems like SharePoint and Google Drive and many more is difficult, especially when you're doing it at scale. That's why at Merge, we've invested heavily this year in our file storage integrations, making them faster, permissions aware, and more enterprise ready across the board. The file picker is our pre-built UI that allows your users to browse and select relevant files and folders within their own file storage systems. We've even rebuilt parts of the infrastructure which have yielded phenomenal results, like decreasing the loading time for SharePoint by up to 7x. We've also made huge improvements to selective sync for file storage integrations. Now, you can sync and filter to have your users choose exactly which files, folders, or drives they want to share with you. This way, they can actually specify exactly what they're comfortable sharing. They can actually edit their selection at any time without needing to relink or re-authenticate. Now, it's even easier for your users to choose exactly what they want to share. Another brand new feature that we're really excited about this year is direct file download. Until recently, all files were downloaded through Merge proxy, meaning the data flowed through our servers before it reached your application. With direct file download, files now come straight from the storage provider, bypassing Merge entirely. That means your product retrieves the file directly from Google Drive, Box, SharePoint, wherever it lives. This method is dramatically faster, especially for large files. Response times are significantly improved. We've decreased download time by 2.5x. And just as important, it means Merge never has to handle sensitive file contents. We are just the provider to help you manage the file structure and metadata. This is a game changer for enterprise AI use cases where you have to process millions of files, and the speed and scalability of that makes all the difference. Now, to show us what this looks like out there in the real world, I'm really excited to announce and introduce Nick, who's using Merge's file storage integrations.
Hey everyone, excited to be here. My name is Nate Sikander. I'm the VP of Product at Foxit Software, and we are a digital document solution. File storage is really important to Foxit for a lot of reasons. First of all, we have around 450 to 500 million users, and that's an extensive customer base for us to cover. So being able to support a variety of those file storage platforms with a single API has been really beneficial. Additionally, having our own APIs and leveraging this great MCP, the Model Context Protocol, we've actually been able to embed our PDF services into the MCP that allows our customers to interact with their document platform. So, for example, if a customer wants to be able to find a document and select 3 of them to converge them into a single PDF, they can do that through this MCP, through this normal text format, and extract the value of both the integration and the MCP and Foxit services that we provide. The reason we chose Merge over specific integrations was just the time to market. One of the values here is that we can build with a single API into multiple different platforms, products, whatever it may be. And from a practical stance, what that allows us to do is to start seeing trends in usage that then allow us to make more informed product decisions where we may want to go down a native integration in the future. But for now, being able to support the predominant use cases that we have, it was a great solution, and our time to market was reduced significantly. Now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, my product manager, Nikit. He's going to show you how we can instantly connect to into a platform and then show you how to use it right away. Nikit, take it away.
So let me just walk you through this flow. Then we're navigating to connectors. So here what we can see is we can see the various connectors. Currently we are connected to Sage HR. Now this is from an HR business perspective that we have essentially been connected to. What we'll do is we will search for SharePoint as our source where we will be kind of storing our final file. So what I will do is I will connect. We will need read and write admin access. That basically asks me for login to SharePoint. I go see login, it'll open this thing. I'm connecting to an admin account within SharePoint. So I'll select finish setup. Now what's going to happen is it's basically going to show me the folder sites, that is the sites that are connected to my account as a SharePoint admin. I double click on the site that I would want it to finally go and land the files. In there, I see communication site documents. I select that. There I see the demo merge XI. I select it. And since there is no subfolder, it shows confirm, and I go and confirm. I'll just go to settings. I'll just show you certain things there. So here we get to see the custom executed file location. Now, when do you want the file storage frequency? You can say I don't want to sync at all, or once it is executed, I want the files to be stored there. And also whether this is the default file storage. Now, since SharePoint is the only file storage that we have connected to, it has picked up as default. But if in case we go and connect to another file storage service provider, it will be selected as no. And you will have an option of selecting which one would be your default, and that is where the files would eventually land. So for now, I'll just do a save on this. I'm going to now select employee onboarding form. Now, as you see that we have been connected to Sage HR, HRIS. I will basically go select whom I want to select. So in this case, I will do Nikki, and I will add me as the HR. Now we have basically added all the information that we would want the third-party tool to provide us and get confirmation from the signer. So we've done the mapping in terms of that we have basically taken each field, mapped it to the third-party Sage HR platform. We've done a save and close. And now we are ready to send, and so we will send this. So check my email. I did get an email. So yeah, so now this I have logged in as the user who needs to do the signature or the sign up. So I do see that, okay, my full name, my email, my contact information, start date, job title, everything kind of looks all right. So I'll just quickly do a signature there, and I do a finish. Do the confirmations, and there we go. Now, as the sender, I do see that, okay, this was already been signed by the candidate or by the person who needs to sign. I can go, I do see the signature, I see all the information that was printed, and then I basically go add my signature and I do a finish. So this does give me a signed successful message. And I do see, so the name of the file was employee onboarding form demo support. It now states as executed. What I will do is, based on the connection that we have done, I'll just go to my SharePoint site, and I do see that, oh, the PDF is there and also a certificate alongside. Thank you. That's it.
And while file search is foundational for enterprise AI, it's just the beginning. And that's why I'm super excited to announce our next unified API category, knowledge base. Knowledge-based systems like Salesforce, Notion, and Confluence are hubs of information about your workspace, context to power the next generation of AI tooling. So stay tuned and to learn more about this. But for now, I'll pass it to David Dalmaso to talk more about our agentic use cases.
Thanks, Abe. I'm David Dalmaso, one of the engineers here at Merge, and I'm here today to talk to you about one of the hottest topics in AI right now, the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, and how it's unlocking the next generation of AI-powered agents and assistants. So let's start with the basics. What is MCP? If you've built or worked with LLMs in the past, you understand that they're limited to the actions that they can take and mostly operate off of text in and text out. That's where tools come in. Tools are external functions that the LLM can choose from and call, whether it's searching files, querying a local database, or even making external API calls. Model context protocols are a way to securely define and expose those tools to the model. You can think of MCPs as a way to bridge the LLM with application code. This increasing need in the market is why we built our own Merge MCP server, which is built directly on top of the Merge platform. With Merge MCP, you can give your AI agent access to hundreds of third-party tools, from Jira to Workday to Greenhouse to Box, with just a few lines of code to set it up. And because it's powered by Merge, you're not just connecting one tool, you can integrate with every Merge-supported platform. Merge MCP is built for companies building AI assistants, customer-facing agents, AI knowledge tools, and even internal co-pilots. If you want your AI agent to not only retrieve information, but take action, this is for you. With Merge MCP, every API endpoint of Merge becomes a usable tool. Let me show you how easy it is to implement and what that actually looks like in action. Now, let's jump into a demo. Imagine I'm a Merge customer named Flowdesk. Flowdesk is the hot new AI ticketing tool that allows customers to create, update, and manage their tickets all through a beautiful chat interface. We're trying to sign a new customer called Company A. Company A makes use of Jira as their ticketing platform. This is what their platform might look like, with a few to-dos and one in-progress task. Now, Flowdesk is going to direct Company A to the Merge linking flow. Company A will go through the linking flow, and once they complete it, Flowdesk will receive an account token associated with Company A. That is what we'll need to actually go ahead and set up the MCP server. The MCP server setup is as simple as a config file where we specify Merge MCP, a Merge API key, and that Merge account token associated with Company A. Once that's set up, Company A can actually go and use Flowdesk to talk about their tickets. So let's go ahead and ask, what are the open tickets right now? Flowdesk AI will choose from the available tools in its toolkit and say that I'm trying to find tickets that are a status open, and we'll go ahead and return those. Cool, we got those three. Now, somebody at Company A might want to create a new ticket. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to create a new ticket called test ticket with no priority. Once again, Flowdesk AI is making a decision about what to do, and here we can see it's trying to call tickets create. It passes in the name test ticket with a ticket type task and adds it to the collection that we want. Great. The task was created in the system. Now, if we go back to Jira, we can see that Company A now has this task added to their system. And that's it. What we've learned since launching Merge MCP and through ongoing conversations with our customers is that there's a growing need to securely deploy and manage third-party data connections as teams bring AI agents into production. We're seeing three key challenges take shape. One is a lack of enterprise-ready tools for agents. Many of the MCP servers out there are still immature, not battle tested, and not well maintained. 2 is agent sprawl. As more agents are built across different teams, tools, and use cases, each connecting to multiple third-party systems, there's no centralized way to govern or manage those connections. It becomes a compliance and security nightmare. And 3, of course, the need for multi-layered security control to ensure there isn't any data misuse amongst these agents. So today, we're excited to share that we've recently launched a new product that helps enterprise teams manage and scale third-party data access for agents with the same security, reliability, and innovation that Merge is known for. Merge Agent Handler is currently available in closed beta and will be in open beta in the coming months. If you're interested in getting early access, you can join our waitlist or reach out to your customer support manager. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Noor.
Thanks, David. Hey everyone, my name is Noor Dafrawi, and I'm a product manager leading our financial service offerings and automation tools. So far, we've focused on the AI-related capabilities we've launched, but that's only part of the story. At Merge, we're constantly working to make the experience of building with integrations easier, faster, and more scalable for all our customers, whether they're launching AI features or not. In this final chapter, we want to walk you through some of the major improvements we've made across the platform. These updates span our core integration categories, enhancements to popular features, and UX improvements to the Merge dashboard. Let's take a look at what's new. It is so important that the Merge customer experience is easy, which is why we focus so much of our time on the design of our product and docs. We recently gave a makeover to our dashboard homepage based on customer feedback. This includes showing the number of linked accounts per integration and ordering it by usage, showing utilization to reduce confusion about billing and overages, and making it easier to invite a teammate to your Merge org. Please keep sharing any feedback you have about the Merge dashboard as we continue to refine and improve it. Let's talk about a big unlock for FinServ companies building bill pay and receivable products. We've expanded our accounting API with support for payment terms and payment methods, two common models that help your product understand how and when money moves. This enables real workflows. In bill pay, you can automate vendor payment based on due dates and preferred methods. In receivables, you can tailor collection flows based on payment terms, like net 30 or due on receipt. With these common models, FinServ companies can now automate these financial operations and requirements. We've also added a project common model, which allows you to tag accounting transactions to the correct project classification. This is particularly important for any industries that are very project-based, such as professional services. You can now associate employee expenses or bills generated or invoices to specific project names and IDs to automatically track this for your customers. Today, Project is supported for QuickBooks Online and Sage Intacct, with support for additional accounting integrations coming soon. Now, let's talk about one of our most popular features, field mappings, which allow our customers to map custom data to Merge's unified API. Advanced field mappings allows you to write James Path queries to access specific values from a list of objects. If you have a large customer base, manually configuring advanced field mappings in the dashboard doesn't scale. So we brought advanced field mappings into Merge Link, enabling your customers to manage their own advanced field mappings during the onboarding process. This means less work for your team and more flexibility for your customers. Let's talk about a big win for teams using Selective Sync. Selective Sync gives you fine-grained control over what data gets synced, which is really important for enterprise-sized customers, where pulling everything just isn't practical. We've automated how timestamps filters like modified at are applied across our integrations. Before, this required manual setup. Now, when a new linked account is set up, the time frame is defaulted to the previous year. Of course, if you need more historical data, you can simply remove this default filter. We've expanded these default filters across more of our categories, including ATS, CRM, and accounting. This means faster initial syncs, less unnecessary historical data, and better performance. These default filters are available to all customers, no setup required. If you're syncing large volumes of data, this is a huge improvement in speed and efficiency. And as a final sneak peek into our roadmap, I'm thrilled to share an upcoming product that reflects our commitment to making secure data access effortless and flexible. Introducing Destinations, a powerful new feature that allows you to stream encrypted, normalized data directly to databases, such as Postgres, owned by you or your customers. With Destinations, Merge never stores your data at rest and bypasses our database entirely. This gives you more control and provides greater trust between you and your customers. It's security, scalability, and simplicity, all in one. And that wraps up Merge Demo Day. We've shown how Merge is helping teams power enterprise search, enable agents, or just make integrations faster. From ACLs and scopes to file integrations and Merge MCP, we're building the infrastructure companies need to launch AI features with control, speed, and confidence. If you're already building, we hope today inspired new ideas. If you're just getting started, we're here to help. Explore what you can do with Merge, reach out to our team, or sign up for a free account to try it out today. Now, I want to turn it over to Abe to do a quick poll before we jump into Q&A.
Thank you, Noor, and welcome again, everybody. I know a lot of you are eager to get into the Q&A section, but before we do that, I want to first kick us off with a live poll on knowledge base integrations and which ones are top of mind for you. So I'm going to start the poll now just to get a pulse on which particular knowledge base integrations would be most helpful. All right, poll is live. Give it just a second. This is a great way to influence our product roadmap, by the way. Awesome. Confluence, Leads, great enterprise knowledge base tool. That's coming soon, actually, with Merge. Notion, huge one. We use that ourselves, so we definitely want to be able to get information out of there. Salesforce Knowledge, Intercom, none makes sense, and some others. So this is a great list. Thank you all for sharing. Now, everyone else, we're going to invite the team back on so that we can answer some of these questions that you've all asked. All right, everybody, come join. Awesome. So Soumya, let me answer your first question here. Are ACLs introduced across all of our existing integrations? So not yet, but we focus primarily on the ones that are most AI friendly. So we do have ACLs for ticketing. We have it for file storage. We will introduce it for our knowledge base integrations as well. There's other ways to sort of enforce permissions for other categories, but we will be adding those as well on a per demand basis. I see a second question from Lucas around how have you seen people combine permissions and ACLs with semantic search? If the agent needs to query a file data set that has some ACL attached, how is this combined with the actual search process itself, a vector or keyword database?
I'd be
Gil,
happy
do you want to
to
take this?
Yeah, I can take this one. So essentially the way that we've seen customers do this, and keep in mind, this is not functionality that Merge does itself. This is a step that you would take once pulling normalized data from Merge. You need to embed it. And what we see people do generally is store who has access to each document chunk in the metadata down on the storage layer. So essentially in the metadata, you store what users or group IDs have access, and that you do get from Merge. And then when you're actually querying, you're filtering on that. So user ID, pass that in, the group IDs, pass that in, see if it's contained in the groups that have access to a certain file or whatever document you're searching across. One thing to keep in mind is you should update that metadata down to a chunk level. Obviously, you can't just do it for the overall document itself.
Awesome. Thank you, Gil. So this next question by Nikos, I'm going to invite some folks on our team working on our AI products. Nikos' question is, could you please clarify how data resources are handled in the context of the remote MCP feature? Specifically, are there any subprocessors involved in processing the data transmitted through this functionality, or is it managed completely in-house?
Yeah, happy to take this one. So currently our Merge MCP offering is not actually a remote hosted MCP. You would actually be running this server locally on your system, and it would reach out to our unified API. So there's no extra subprocessors taking place. All the data stays on your system until it gets sent to our unified API.
Great. David, maybe you can answer the next question by Nikos as well.
Yeah, happy to. So for the technology stack that you recommend for setting up remote MCP servers. So as I teased with our new product that we are rolling out, we have been building remote MCP servers. And what we've seen as best practice there is building out these asynchronous servers. Exact tech stack, pretty agnostic. We are currently implementing it as a Python Django application, but as it's like stated in the model context protocol documentation, you're encouraged to use async servers and different web servers that can maintain long-lived connections. Like something like Daphne, for example, is what Django offers to do this. But other implementations use things like Fast API or Django Ninja to handle that.
Thanks, David. Lots of great questions about MCP. This is clearly a very AI-forward community here. One more question from Dimitri. How is MCP protected against prompt injection and other similar attacks when grabbing data from data sources? I'll turn it over to the team.
Yep, happy to take this one. So for Merge MCP specifically, the prompt injection pieces are sort of outside the scope of Merge MCP. So things such as like what the actual arguments are being sent through our unified API, that's what Merge MCP handles. But as David sort of pointed out, we have this new product that's geared towards enhanced security tooling around attacks like prompt injection or data misuse. We're building out a DLP layer in a new product. So I think our new product, Merge Agent Handler, is better geared towards a lot of the security risks that come with a lot of the agentic AI use cases. Merge MCP is not necessarily built for that specific case.
Awesome. Direct file download is a new feature. It's available in our docs. Leah, jumping to the next question here because we're getting close to time. David asks, when talking about search, is Merge indexing these documents based on their contents, or would we need to download? So that actually flows pretty well. Merge does not actually touch any of the file contents. We give you the URL and a way to download that at scale directly from the third party. You would then download that into your own databases and create your own vector stores if you need to, David. Another MCP question from Dimitri. Is Merge MCP going to support HTTP streaming dynamic client registration? Is it a remote server or locally connected, or is it going to stay SSE only?
Yeah, so for our current Merge MCP offering, we haven't roadmapped offering any remote server options for it. So no plans there. It's all local connections. However, for this new agent handler product we're rolling out, those will all be remote servers that you'll be able to connect to through HTTP streaming connections. SSE actually has been deprecated by the Model Context Protocol as of Thursday last week. So we will support it, but we have it supported, but it won't be supported going forward as part of the protocol.
Thanks, David. We have a ton more MCP questions. I'm going to just turn it over to Gil to maybe provide a little bit of an overview and touch upon them all.
Awesome. Yeah, so because we don't have much time here, I'm going to do this in the context of the question that is, what's the difference between your unified APIs and now Merge's MCP? Why is there a need to build MCP now? And hopefully cover what a few people are wondering about. So Merge MCP is simply an MCP wrapper around our existing API. It gives you the ability to agentically call endpoints in Merge's API, but still involves our unified API with a syncing layer and with normalization of data. That's really important because a lot of APIs don't give you the ability to search well. You can't find the data you need, and so you need an index in there. And so that's really valuable there. But Merge's next product that we've talked about, Agent Handler, this one will actually allow you to on the fly make decisions and connections to a bunch of different platforms all at the same time. And the notable difference there is that there is no normalization or indexing of the data, but rather allowing your tools to make on the fly decision making. That becomes a bit more dangerous for prompt injection and other things people have asked about, which is why there's heavy security built in there.
Awesome. I think that brings us to the end of the time here. We'll definitely love to share more of this. I'm sure we'll send out the recording. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We have a whole lot more that we're doing in the next couple of quarters, so please stay tuned and keep us posted with all your questions and feedback async. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.